His passion for his family, he would talk about them all the time. We'd hear about the different kids and how excited he was, and this person had that, and this person had that. He was so excited, so passionate about his family. And as Kenton already said, his family here at the church, whether it was his ABF class, the choir. But you know, of all those things, the thing that Al was most passionate about was his Savior. It was personal. It was real. You know, he'd have a Bible sitting on his desk at the office, and it was always ready to be opened for that time when someone would come in and have a question about faith. And the one thing you knew is if you asked him about his faith, he was going to tell you, and you better have a little time, and you better be ready to listen, because he had some strong convictions. You know, I can't think of 4 better words: integrity, energy, a teacher, and passion. What a package. You know, the last several weeks of his life, I had a chance to talk to Al, to be some time around him, and we talked about life. He had been frequently shared over the years about what he wanted most out of life. It wasn't money. It wasn't fame or a position. It wasn't business success as defined by the world. But he said, Brent, you know what I want to hear? You know what I want for my life? He said, when I get to heaven's gates, I want to hear the words, well done, my good and faithful servant. You know, I think for Al, that was his mission statement in life. He wanted to live life in a way where there were no regrets and where he would hear those words. You know, I don't know for certain right now, but knowing Al like I do, I have a pretty strong suspicion that those were the words that he was met at the gates with. You know, today, I don't know if they have certified Angus beef in heaven, but I can assure you that if they do, I bet you right now he's conducting a cutting with Peter and the apostles, showing them how to cut up the ribeyes and the strips, telling them about marbling and why it's going to be a great steak here in just a couple of minutes when he throws it on the grill. So Al, I don't know if you're listening in today on this service or not, but if you are, just remember what I told you about 3 weeks ago. You're free to play a round of golf with Noah or Moses, but you better wait for me before you go fishing in the Crystal Sea. Al, I love you, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks so much, Brent. Sounds like maybe you did know the guy we knew. As Brent mentioned, Dad's relationship with God was central to everything he did. Growing up, we were at church pretty much every time the door was opened. And he sang in the choir, he led singing, he was an elder, but I think the thing he loved most was teaching. When he and Mom moved out here, one of the first things I did was to introduce him to Lynn Warner. And I said, Lynn, it's not just because he's my dad. You want this guy to teach your ABF. Well, Lynn, thanks for taking me up on it. And thanks for sharing with us that part of his life.